Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewife Recaps. Today I'm covering Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 10, Episode 6, Read Between the Signs. Oh, it was such a good episode. Garcelle was a superstar in this episode, and Kyle just dug herself in deeper this episode. I loved it. I thought it was great. So let's discuss. So we start off with a flashback to last week. Kyle is making her stink face, as she does. Okay, so I just had to put that in there because it's hilarious. So we start out with Garcelle, and she's having, it looks like, a lovely time with her friends. We get introduced to Sheree, however you say that, with Will, that's Will Smith's ex-wife. So I guess she's the mom of Trey, so that's cool. And it's just nice. It's nice to see this side of her as well. We see a lot of her with her kids. She's a great mom. So it's cool to see her with her friends as well. Then we flash over to Kyle. Oh, Kyle, you have so become the villain. It's wild. I didn't have a strong opinion about Kyle before. She's better in some seasons than others. But this one's rough. She is a lot this season, so... Okay, let's talk fashion for just a minute. I hate this look so much. And not because it's Kyle. It's really not. It's just awful. I hate those glasses. So I did a little deep diving because that's what I like to do. And here's what I came up with. So it looks like these glasses are Dolce and Gabbana. Yeah, you can see the price right here. Because, it's normal to pay $500 plus for sunglasses. I don't know about you, but I love my Target sunglasses and I lose them all the time. So I just couldn't do that. Okay, so moving on. So Erika calls. She's working on Chicago. She's relocating to New York for a little bit just to be in the musical. Erika needs Kyle's birth time for the astrologer, which kind of made me laugh. And she was saying she knows a freaky good astrologist. Talks about how angry Denise was the other night. And Kyle says to Erika, I don't know where that came from. She was in my face. Kyle, the camera, says, I think that Denise would like people to think that nothing ruffles her feathers, but I'm not buying that at all. And then she says, if I knew where it came from, it would make more sense. Kyle, you know where it came from. You're being a jerk. And I think all Denise said was, what's the big deal about glam? Because seriously, what is the big deal about glam? That's why we all watch the show. Kyle can't do hello, she's sitting in this scene in these expensive sunglasses, and I'm sure the outfit cost a fortune, and yet she's complaining about Dorit getting glam. It's a silly argument if you ask me. And then we go over to Denise's house, and she's helping Sammy get ready for homecoming. And then we get to a little treat called Laura. Let's talk about Laura for a second. She's the hairstylist. She comes over to fix Sammy's hair. And I'm sorry, but I just got really distracted by the stupid hat. It's so stupid. I don't get it. I tried to do a deep dive on this thing too, but I came up empty-handed. I'm sure it cost a fortune. But really? So then we get to see Erika. Erika is training for the Chicago musical. And I'm just loving Erika this season. I'm so excited. If you check out my Twitter at Real Recaps, I tweeted out that this is my favorite season of Erika. And Erika actually liked it. So there's a humble brag, or not so humble brag. But I was so excited. I get so into this stuff. I really do. It's just cool to see the softer side of Erika. In the past, I've gone back and forth with her. I always liked her, but that cold stuff kind of turned me off. But this season's been great. She's just a lot warmer, and it's cool to see this. It's cool to see all the work she's putting into the show. And it was just so sweet because the instructor surprised her with a video from the cast of Chicago just saying that they can't wait to work with her. And she actually burst into tears, and I may or may not have done the same. Please don't tell anybody. Then we get to see Harry and Lisa. Harry's showing up a little bit more this season, which, he seems okay. It was a weird kind of ad for Range Rover almost, where he was signing papers. It sounded like maybe a lease or something. I'm not really sure, but he talks about doing a play and that he missed the opening of his daughter's DNA. It flashbacks to the daughters fighting with the family, and they were saying that last year was a lot rougher. And Rinna does pay him a nice compliment and said he handled it well and that he was okay with Amelia not doing school, and that's really helping them. It's helping her. It's helping her anxiety and stuff. He helped her move home, helped her start a clothing line. And Rinna admits that they do a lot of family therapy. So good for them for working on their mental health. And speaking of mental health, we get to see Dorit and PK. Dorit is headed to Buca di Beppo. And she's meeting up with Robert Earl, her friend, I guess. It's a friend of PK, so we get to see a flashback of them together. And they're discussing her involvement with one of the Buca di Beppos. And PK comes straight from the airport to meet up with them. PK admits that he knew Robert in London. Robert owned a casino. And the funny thing here is PK says, he may have taken a few bucks off me. So that's funny because the rumor is he's supposed to be in debt to Bellagio, I believe it is. One of those big Vegas casinos. Whoopsie. May not want to joke about that. PK and Dorit use this opportunity to ask Robert about his other friend, Lisa. Of course, Lisa Vanderpump. And then they bring up that Lisa hasn't spoken to Dorit and they haven't moved forward. Dorit says, by no means am I trying to compete with Lisa. So this should be interesting to watch. I have a feeling this will be next season's storyline. It's pretty funny. I can't imagine Dorit and PK going to Buca di Beppo. Then we go to Kyle's house. Kyle's getting ready for Erika's. And we get to see Mauricio again. And this new Mauricio is so funny. I'm pretty sure he's stoned a lot of the time, it seems. I might be off. Just a hunch. Pretty funny. No judgment here. And then Sutton calls. And Kyle's kind of explaining, Dorit's a good friend. And sometimes she pisses me off. Sutton is quirky. I want to be around her. I'm sure you do, Kyle. This is so weird to me. It's a weird friendship. Kyle shows off her outfit, which comes back around later in the episode. And then we go over to Garcelle's house. Again, Garcelle is also getting ready. She talks about her very busy schedule. And you guys, we didn't have to have Teddi for 20 minutes of the show. And it was like a vacation. Oh, Teddi's the worst, and I'm so glad she was barely in this episode. Seriously, I know, I'm not a fan of Teddi's, but even if you like her, did you really notice that she wasn't here for the first 20 minutes of the episode? So Kyle, Teddi, and Sutton are writing together, talking about how Denise came on strong. Kyle says, tonight, I don't know if I'll get the laid-back chill Denise or the coming in hot Denise. And Teddi starts feeling car sick. I don't know why, that just kind of was funny to me. It was funny to see how clearly uncomfortable Kyle and Sutton were with the idea of Teddi throwing up on them. Then we're at Erika's house. And again, we get to see a little bit more of Erika's life. We get to see a nice moment between her and Tom. They're cheersing, they're talking. Tom's excited. He seems genuinely excited to meet the ladies. They walk in, and what happens? Rinna is wearing the same outfit, and it's so funny. From the previews, I sure thought it was planned, but it looks like it was purely coincidental. So again, I love to research. So what did I do? I did a deep dive on this outfit. So let me just tell you guys. Okay. I figured it'd be crazy expensive. It really wasn't that bad, truthfully. But if you Google it, it says everywhere it's sold out. But it is, let's see, it's called Intermix that has it. It's number 23 Jacquard blazer dress. And most places I found it, it's going for about $500. This place had it half off at $269. But again, they're sold out. And of course, Kyle has to make everything about Kyle and says that she almost bought the same outfit. Sure you did, Kyle. Sure. I thought Garcelle looked great. She was wearing a similar pink blazer, and I just thought the color really popped on her. It was nice. Okay, then we get Dorit. Hello, Dorit. We can always count on her for some fashion craziness. Sometimes good, sometimes not so much, but always risky. I'll say that. All right. So again, it's what I love to do. I did a deep dive, and guess what? Can you believe how much this outfit costs? It literally is PJs. It doesn't just look like PJs. It's actually categorized as PJs. They are Louis Vuitton, of course. And it makes me think of Countess Luann and Alex McCord. And Countess said, even Louis Vuitton makes mistakes. Anyway, so this, PJs, I cannot believe this. So the top of the PJs costs $1,870 for PJs. The bottoms cost $1,730, again, for PJs. Wow. It's seriously like Dorit and PK are begging to be audited. It's so strange. So then Denise arrives and she gets to meet Tom. And then, they have a nice moment. Tom leaves and the astrology guy arrives. His name is Sean. What did I do? I did a little deep dive on Sean. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that last name. But if you look him up, you find that he has an IMDb page. He's an actor. I'm sure he's an astrologer too. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying. It's very hard to find anything about his astrology work. I was curious to see how much his rate was. I wanted to see if I could book an appointment. Not really. But all I could find was this, which kind of struck me funny. So then he goes around and he talks to all the ladies. He talks to them about their signs and their rising sun and setting moon. I'm sorry, I don't know anything about this stuff, but it was interesting to see. It seems like he got it pretty spot on with a lot of them. Dorit, right off the bat, has a little dig for Kyle, which I found funny. The astrologer had said, what'll get you the most worked up is when someone is being treated unfairly. And Dorit whispers, he was spot on until he said you were fair. He said there was a hidden side to Denise, which all the girls pounced on. He said with Rinna, everybody knows where they stand with you. He goes through the rest of the girls, and then when he gets to Teddi, he says, you feel safety with a deep connection. With a group like this, you'll be more inclined to gravitate toward one energy you feel the most comfortable with. Rinna, in a talking head, says, gee, I wonder who that could be. Kyle has to make it about Kyle and says, that explains things. You guys can't be upset why this group is friends and why this group or that group is friends. Why some people are closer than others. Then they show the history of Kyle coming to Teddi's defense. Dorit says, Kyle should admit certain rules don't apply to Teddi that apply to the rest of the group. And Garcelle asks, why can't you say I'm closer to Teddi? What's wrong with that? Stevie Wonder could see that. That was so funny to me. She said that last part under her breath, but if you go back and watch it, she actually does say that. I love Garcelle so much. She so hits the nail on the head here and says, Kyle wants to be liked by everybody. Let's be completely honest. Teddi gets weird and upset. Dorit asks, didn't you guys go to couple therapy? Oh, and that sets them off. And it's so funny. Erika steps in and says, well, you did have a therapist at the house. Kyle is like, no, it's for breathing exercises for anxiety. You guys are all effing lost your minds. So poor Sean is trying to help mediate, especially between Kyle and Dorit. Sutton starts getting pissy about Dorit. Again, I think Sutton is very much like Kyle. She likes to be the center of attention. Sutton starts yelling. Erika shuts it down and says, you're a guest in my home, all right? And Sutton apologizes. Woo! I do not want that heat focused on me. Erika can be scary. The astrologer leaves. Sutton says, when I met everyone, I was like, I like her, talking about Dorit. So for you to announce to everyone, talking about what Dorit did last week when Sutton said she was going to freak out. She said she didn't deserve that. I a little bit understand Sutton's point at this part, just in this one part, because, Dorit was the closest one to her. She was kind of saying it under her breath, like, I'm going to freak out. But the part that I don't understand and that I actually side with Dorit on is she kept saying it. She started getting aggressive about it. It wasn't just one little, I'm going to freak out. Talking to a friend, she actually got kind of aggressive. It was like, listen to me, I'm going to freak out. All this, it's over the top. So I kind of get why Dorit brought it up. I don't know. So Dorit says, we aren't girlfriends. You were at my friend's event. Kyle says, was she going to make a scene? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. We're bigger than that. Oh, my God. And then the Bravo editors. I love the Bravo editors. Oh, they're amazing. So they show flashbacks of all of the ladies making a scene. We get that beautiful scene of Rinna throwing a glass. I think they're in Amsterdam. And Kyle takes off running. And it was so funny. So Rinna asks Kyle, why are you so worked up? Kyle says Sutton's new to the group. Rinna says, Kyle, this is my kid's launch party. Kyle says, she didn't do anything, Rinna. Don't act like she did. Sutton says she doesn't feel like any of the ladies want to get to know her personally. And Garcelle, I love Garcelle. She said, you guys aren't really saying anything. I talk to you, talking about Kyle, all the time, and you glaze right over me. To camera, she says, the more I get to know Kyle, the more I feel like maybe she's only great for the surface. When it comes down to it, she doesn't really want to know anything. Good for you. Oh, I love it. I love that she's coming out against Kyle. And then Denise says to the camera, she's calling us all fake bitches. Maybe she's projecting. Maybe that's her. Garcelle says, these bitches are so wrapped up in themselves. I could be naked doing cartwheels on the table and they wouldn't notice. So they leave and Kyle and Dorit stay behind to yell at each other. Kyle whispers to Sutton, they're all being so mean. Hello, Kyle. Weren't you the one that hid Brandy's crutches like the first time you met her? I'm sorry, was that you? Okay. We get to see Rinna, Denise, and Garcelle in the car. Rinna to Garcelle says, you just feel like you're not being seen. Denise says that Kyle did the same thing to her. And then Garcelle says, that outfit... Kyle's outfit was ridiculous. I know it's petty, but it's funny. We flash to Kyle and Dorit, who are still arguing. Back to the car. Garcelle says, Kyle always brings it back to her. And Denise says, I feel like she talks at us, not to us, and does not listen. And then, you guys, it's my favorite scene of the show. Erika says, you saw a therapist together. Kyle says, why are you saying couples therapy? Erika says, it's another component of what she said. You guys are a package deal. Erika to camera, I've experienced the package deal. And then the editors, love the editors, they show flashbacks of all the time Kyle and Teddi were up each other's you-know-whats. Kyle says, you and I are better friends than that. That's not cool. Erika says, I'm just being honest. So Erika says, the relationship is strange, you guys. Kyle said, why is that weird? Because you don't have good friends? Ooh, those are fighting words. Whew. And Erika looked her dead in the eye and kept her calm, and it was so great, and said, you're so out of line. I'm not even going to be insulted by something that wild. And I actually do have good friends, and I considered you to be one of them. Whew. You talk about a line to end the episode. That was it. That was amazing. Oh, I love me some Erika Jayne right now. And that wraps it up. It was such a good episode. We get to see a flash of next episode. They're headed to Santa Barbara. They're doing some stuff on pedal golf carts. It seems like it's going to be Dorit versus Kyle and Sutton versus Denise. Woo! And at the end, it's Rinna saying, do you talk about the hookers around the kids? About the hookers that Charlie brings around? Oh, I think that's going to piss Denise right off. So it should be great. I'm so excited. Well, guys, that's my recap. You can definitely come back and check out my next week's recap. I'm very excited about that one. I also cover Real Housewives of New York as well as Below Deck. So check out all that. And follow me on Twitter. I'm at Real Recaps. And thanks so much for watching and subscribing and commenting. I love talking to you guys in the comments. I appreciate it. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye-bye.